Tim, can you take us through what you saw when Zach gets that steal, pitches it off to Michael, who then obviously flies?
Flies.
Yeah.
Yeah, flies is right. Just really proud of Zach. You know, Zach is, first of all, he's an incredible high character young man, and he's obviously been struggling on the offensive end, and he's putting a lot of pressure on himself. And I told him the other day, I said, you gotta quit. You know, just have fun, because you're one heck of a player, and you're just, you know, you're going through what everybody goes through at some time. But he never quits fighting. And how about the, you know, great decision he made to get his and one, and then right after that he dives on the floor. I think that's our first lead, right? 63-62. Is that right?
Yeah. First lead.
Seemed like it was the first lead, I think, and what a tremendous play. God, what you know. But that's Zach. You know, he's going to give you, and he cares passionately. And I was very happy for him, because he had a big part in us winning the game. But I do want to say, so I don't forget, you know, I've been proud to coach this team the whole year. I think you guys know that. I kind of say it all the time, how much I have enjoyed them, even back in June. You know, we always want to win when you're a coach, but I pull for them hard. Like, I really pull for them. They deserve a lot of really, really good things to happen for them. And so I'm just really happy for them. It's also one of the great, fighting wins that I've been a part of, you know, like where it was all on will. I mean, that game was willed. We did, you know, we played the first half. I think we were tentative. You know, there's a lot of pressure on these guys right now. Come on, let's you know, everything's game 7 for us, it feels like, and I think we played a little bit, you know, not to lose, and maybe wishing and hoping a little bit in the first half, and then the second half starts out a little poorly. It doesn't look much different, but we just kept, we got to pin our ears back. We got to attack, and we got to reach down. We got to play as hard as we can, and coaches say that, but I thought they did play as hard as they could. I thought we played about 14 or 15 minutes as hard as they could play, as hard as they could compete. And to me, that's a beautiful thing. That's the most beautiful thing, is how deep can a guy and a team reach to get what it is they want, or do they give in? And they would not. And it was, to me, it was the Arizona games a few years ago was another one of those for the ages for me. I've never seen a team play so hard as we did in that game. And in this one, I don't think you could play harder for 14 minutes, you know, and they just were not going to let it happen. And I just think it's fantastic, and I couldn't be more proud of them.
You mentioned Zach, whose shot's been struggling lately, but came up with several big plays at the end. How much did you talk to him even during the game, sort of reminding him that you needed defense or rebounds or whatever it was to contribute in other ways?
A little. Every time I put him in, I think, you know, I always try to say something, but not overly, and I'm always trying to encourage, because I know he's being hard on himself, but, you know, he's had some great games for us in the past, and his shooting is going to come around. It will. But I'm more proud of the fact of the character. You know, that's what I'm most interested in, is their character and their unselfishness and their will to play hard no matter what. And it's not all about him, and he's fantastic that way. Emmanuel was amazing. You know, we put him on the toughest guy. He's scratching around all night, gets 10 rebounds, double, hits some big shots. Michael, double-doubles. We got two guys 6'3", getting double-doubles. I mean, really, that's incredible. Kendric, you kind of just get used to. You almost don't mention him, because you're, yeah, he had 25. And Kendric was Kendric. Kendric controls the game. He's awfully difficult to guard. Not many people probably would really enjoy guarding him for a 40-minute game. And he just, you know, he controls things. He puts people in tough spots. Mark is fantastic. You know, I thought Tristan gave us really good minutes. Zurich, it was great to have him back. Played hard, played tough. Frank, good minutes. You know, everybody, I just appreciate everybody. I thought everyone helped us. But the biggest part was just to see guys with their back against the wall in what we're calling game. Every game is 7 now. This is March, and to respond like that is, it's just fantastic to me.
You mentioned Zurich 2 games ago. You saw him helped off the floor, wasn't even touching the floor with that foot. How surprised are you that he got out there at all? And
Well, first of all, I was very, very nervous that he had done knee damage. And that's when I walked out there and the pain he was in and where he was holding it, I thought, oof, this is not good at all. Turns out it's not his knee. It is obviously an injury, and it was a serious injury in the sense that he was struggling to even walk, but he responded quickly. Of course, he's in the training room night and day. He wants to play, and he's also very tough. He's tough mentally, he's tough physically, but we also never want, we don't want guys play injured, and so, Miles does an amazing job. He's fantastic. He's going to take care of him. We're not going to play him beforehand, but he responded quickly. I'm surprised he played as well as he did. He's been out so long, but he's a freshman, and he played that well. Man, was he good defensively. Did you see him scratching around? I mean, he is tough. And, not always do you have that much confidence in a freshman to put him on some really, really good offensive plays in the guts of the game. I do with him. He'll fight tooth and nail, so great to have him back.
Kendric kind of feels like he's playing 2 different games right now, where one is the adrenaline, where he can kind of run free, and then it's the in-between breaks where he has to actually have a limp when he's walking around. I guess at this point, how much do you even worry about that limp at all, or is it just, hey, this is game 7, that's what he said after the game too?
Yeah, of course I worry about anybody. If I see anybody limping or in any kind of pattern, it's just automatically I start worrying. Yes, for sure. At the same time, I know that most guys playing a lot of minutes in major college basketball right now feel like crap, honestly. You just don't feel that great right now. It's a hard, until you've been through it, it's hard. You're hurting. So it's kind of expected, although there's a little more limp than I would definitely like to see. But I also know him. If anybody can play through something, it's him. He's played through so many things in the time that he's been here.
you mentioned the minutes you got, or the contributions you got from Tristan Clark and Franklin, and they gave you, 10 and 13 minutes. So given their minutes, your front court was at a pretty decided size disadvantage for much of the night, and you out-rebound Cincinnati by 12. Did you change the way you asked, I guess particularly Bandamel and Michael, to crash the boards and go get them?
Well, just a second. I mean, at halftime, we were just, guys, we've got to be incredibly aggressive in everything we do. Rebounding, attacking on offense. We got to scratch around and play. We can't play good defense. We got to play great defense. So that was the challenge at halftime. We got to change the whole mindset. I mean, the house is on fire. We gotta like, come on. And it didn't feel like the house was on fire in the first half. It felt tentative. We played good defense, but it wasn't crazy good. It was position good, but it wasn't, hey, you're not even gonna get a good shot type good. And that's what we needed, and that's what we got.
I'm sure you guys don't put too much focus on it, but does it feel good to maybe get that Cincinnati monkey off the back?
You'll think I'm making this up, but I honestly, we don't think that way. Like, we haven't or this team, we beat them 6-0. We never even look at that. And honestly, it was pointed out to me, I will not say who, that it had been a while since we'd beaten them. I honestly didn't even know that. Given the fact that it was pointed out to me, and that was really enjoyable to hear. Yeah, I guess it does, but not a lot, because that doesn't really, those don't matter. This is what mattered right here, not what we've done the last X number of games, or vice versa. If there's somebody we played and we've won this many out of that, we don't. But yeah, a little bit. a little bit. So maybe I don't have to hear it again. Maybe that's why I kind of like the fact that we don't have to talk about it. You keep looking at him like it was him, and it wasn't him. I'm not blaming him. It's not his fault. He knows it, but you keep looking at him like it is. I don't want him to feel terrible when he leaves here. You did not point that out, and I appreciate that.
Obviously, this whole season you vocalized how much you like this group in particular, and obviously the goal also from the beginning has been to get to an NCAA tournament. I guess at this point, though, with nights like this, have your feelings on this team just already been kind of cemented about
Yeah.
what you think about them?
Oh, yeah, no, 100%, regardless. That's why I was saying before, I'm pulling for them, harder than you can believe. They deserve to go to the NCAA tournament, 100%, in my heart. They deserve to go. Will we be selected if we don't win the tournament? I don't know. I know how it works. I know that, I know how this thing works. I'll just say that. And I can tell you it's incredibly difficult everything has to be just right if you don't happen to be in a Power 5 conference, because you could get 9th and get in, and you can be 7-11 in your league, or 6-12 and you get in, and but in our leagues, I don't think leagues like ours get the respect. Everybody's always whining about it. I do have perspective. I've coached in the SEC, the Big 10, the Big 12, the Mountain West, American, you name it. I've coached Missouri Valley. I've coached in a lot of leagues. I have great perspective on the quality of teams in different leagues, and I have great experience with the selections, and I can tell you it is a tough deal, and that's why I'm pulling so hard for these guys. They deserve it, and I'm highly motivated to work as hard as I possibly can to do everything I can so that I don't have 1 minute of regret that I let them down by not trying my best to do anything we can to try to figure out how to win the next game and the next game and so on.
You have a chance Sunday to finish the regular season undefeated at home, and it's senior day. So given your fondness for this team, who's going to be more emotional, you or your players?
I hope me, because if they're going to be like me, then that's going to be a little scary. Senior day is always rough on me. It's just I'm sentimental. Got it from my mom, and I just can't help it. And it's rough when you're looking at them and you're like, guys that you just love. You just love them, and so many times as they get older, which is not to say you don't love the freshmen or whatever, but when guys just, usually the older they get, the more they just get it, and they're so mature, they're men, and so it's hard. But we talked about it after the game, and I kind of warned them. I said, we can't let you down. So the guys that aren't seniors, we can't let these guys down. We got to do every single thing we can to get them off on a good note, and yet we play one heck of an opponent that we have tremendous respect for. There'd be a number of other teams I'd rather select to be senior night. And I also told them, from experience, as a player, it is emotional. Some people react differently, and I know I reacted very poorly when I was their age. So I hope they're not like me at all. That's what I hope.
With that, how impressive then, and how nice is it for Michael and Marcus to step up the way they did tonight? I just did quick math, so I think 23 of your 48 second half points were scored by those two. To just kind of maybe see that we are leaders, we are seniors, we can't let this one get away.
No, are they warriors or what? But they weren't our only warriors. But I'm just saying, we're talking about. We've got some warriors. We've got some guys. You can count on them to compete. It's not always going to go right. It's not always going to be perfect. But man, the effort's going to be there. And yeah, they rose up again, and we've seen it time after time, as did a number of other guys.
Any more younger brothers in the pipeline?
God, isn't that the truth? I wish. We're gonna have to scour the Kansas City records, I know that. We better do that for sure. But it's gonna be hard to, Isaiah was here tonight. Isaiah hasn't been coming around and because of his injury, and now he's a little more mobile. That's gonna be hard. Isaiah, season ending, how long ago? A long time ago. And I know I was watching our Cincinnati game that we played, I think, January 6th, if I remember. And watching film, of course, you watch the last game, and there he is, and it's like, wow. All of a sudden, one night, little did he know. And so that'll be hard, but all the guys, it's always hard to say goodbye to guys you really care about.